Hey, welcome back to the shop. I guess we're gonna start on sump pumps. I watched the guys in the camp install them, so I have a pretty good idea. But before we get to actually installing them, there's more digging. Always more digging. I'm a little discombobulated still, so I'll probably figure it out. But the plan is in that corner is to dig down, free all the pipes that are sort of buried down in the ground in here. Cannot be seen right now. Expose them and figure out the grading and the leveling and the slope that I need to get the water to drain into these things. Then I can figure out how deep I have to bury them, and they're going to be in that corner, so sort of where that wheelbarrow is. Get that out of the way. So first things first, the weeds have taken over. Those need to go, so we'll get rid of that. Whew, okay, I think the bulk of the digging is done here. You can tell I've exposed the drain tile system. I also punched a couple holes in it, but it's a drain tile system, so it doesn't matter all that much. And I have exposed the sewage pipe down there. So the trick now is to make sure that these guys' gradient remains happening, so it still needs to go down a certain amount per foot to actually go into the chamber, which will be sitting here. And the same goes for the sewage. The way it looks is that the sewage pipe sits a lot deeper, so it'll run underneath the drain tile system into the sewage macerating pump here, and then the drain tile water will come over top of that pipe into the sump chamber for the rainwater, which will be right below me. I guess the next step is to excavate around this pipe, cut off the permanent cap, and start laying out the run. You know, if I had paid a little bit more attention during the design process of the foundation and the footings and everything, I would have incorporated this conduit into the concrete. I knew these sump pumps were eventually going to sit out there. That was not a big secret at all. I just for some reason forgot them. Just goes to show you can't really ever overplan these things. Oh well. So had to cut up the siding here a little bit. I was able to recess it quite nicely. And then I'm going to get the color matched caulk and caulk all around this thing, and at the end of the day nobody will ever come and look back here. I didn't want to put it on top of the siding because I'm trying to maximize the width of this walkway, which I already kind of calculated it fairly minimally. So if I ever want to roll a wheelbarrow back here or something, I just don't want to have anything interfere. So I decided to recess it into the siding. So the plan is electrical will come out here, go down, run above the drain tile there. That goes into the storm drain pump, and the sewer is coming out from the left, going into the macerating pump there. So now the next goal will be to run this electrical conduit over to the right, and then starts the fun. I have to backfill these up to the rim of the lower pump, and then I have to build a concrete surround around all these things, kind of like a concrete planter box. So the idea is to get the conduit sort of rough shaped into the opening, then start framing up a concrete box and pour that thing, and then run the conduit through the concrete up to a little concrete tower that I'm going to build back here, and it's going to get one of these outdoor plug receptacle things, and then all of that stuff can get plugged in. Pit's really coming along here. The two sump pumps are now in there. There's some drain rock around them, and I am just installing. I actually started with ABS, but that's the wrong material. I need to use schedule 80, so that's PVC, so the pump side anyway. So this is the pressure side, 45s to create 90s, and then that'll be straight out there. And then this is going to be the rainwater pump, and again 245s to create the 90 and straight out there. That one is a vent that, according to the inspector, is actually not necessary, so I might just cap it short and have it underneath the lid. But this one has to be vented. But from what I understand, it doesn't need to be schedule 80, so it can stay the ABS, and it's just going to go out the side here and to the back of the shed. And then it needs to be 6 feet tall and just vent, and that's for the macerating pump, so sewage. Got the electrical box connected, so the conduit's going into the ground here, into underground, and into the building. That's where I mentioned I wish I had thought about this earlier. I would have created a knockout in the concrete, but oh well. Here it is. So it's going to go in and then connect. And there's my schedule 80. That's going to be the next phase of digging. The next phase being actually connecting these two pump outflows, and they're going to go up the driveway to about there, and that's where they're going to go from pump pressure to gravity, and then that will be the next phase from there on onwards. Got a whole bunch of digging to do. This ain't done, ain't over yet.